Procrastination is like the canary in the coal mine. And you might be wondering, what do I mean by that? Well, just like those brave little birds warn miners of danger, procrastination is an early warning sign, an indicator that something deeper might be going on. And it's not just about putting things off, it's a signal that there are underlying issues that need your attention. Hi, I'm Alan Stafford, and in this video, we will explore the ins and outs of procrastination, what it really is, the telltale signs to watch for, and why we often find ourselves putting things off. More importantly, I'll share 5 powerful strategies to help you overcome procrastination and get back on track. These strategies are backed by research and designed to help you understand procrastination and equip you with practical tools to beat it. So let's get started. So what exactly is procrastination? We often think of it as laziness or a lack of discipline, but it's so much more than that. Procrastination is the act of delaying or postponing tasks or decisions even when we know there will be negative consequences. It's that little voice in your head that says, I'll do it later, even when you know you should be doing it now. But why do we listen to it? Why do we keep putting things off even when we know it's not in our best interest? To understand why we procrastinate, let's take a quick look at what's happening in our brains. When we face a challenging, boring, or overwhelming task, our brains trigger a stress response. The limbic system, the part of the brain responsible for emotions, takes over and urges us to seek comfort, often in the form of distractions. Meanwhile, the prefrontal cortex, which handles decision-making and long-term planning, gets overridden. The result, we choose the short-term pleasure of avoiding the task over the long-term benefit of completing it. But there's more to it than just brain chemistry. Procrastination often stems from deeper emotional issues like fear of failure, perfectionism, or even a lack of self-confidence. For instance, if you're afraid your work won't be good enough, you might delay starting it to avoid facing that fear. Or if you feel overwhelmed by the sheer size of a project, you might procrastinate because you don't know where to begin. In this way, procrastination isn't just about time management, it's more about emotional management. And the real kicker is that procrastination doesn't just delay the task, it creates a cycle of stress, guilt, and anxiety. We start feeling bad about ourselves for putting things off, which only makes us more stressed and more likely to procrastinate again. It's a vicious cycle that can affect our productivity and overall well-being. Okay, now that we understand what procrastination is and why it happens, let's talk about how to recognize it in our daily lives. You see, procrastination isn't always apparent. It can sneak up on us in very subtle ways. And so what are the signs that you might be procrastinating if you already don't know? One of the most common signs is avoidance. You find yourself putting off tasks, especially those challenging or uncomfortable. Maybe it's that report you've been meaning to write or a difficult conversation you need to have. You keep pushing it to the back of your mind, telling yourself you'll get to it later. Another red flag is making excuses, or my favorite, justifying delays. You might tell yourself things like, I'll do it when I'm more in the mood, or I work better under pressure, so I'll start later. These are classic ways we rationalize our procrastination. Then there are the distractions. We all know how easy it is to get caught up in checking emails, scrolling through social media, or doing literally anything other than the task at hand. These distractions might seem harmless, but they're often a sign that we're avoiding something more important. And let's not forget the feelings of guilt or stress that creep in when you think about the task you're avoiding. If just the thought of that looming deadline makes your stomach churn, it's a pretty clear sign that procrastination is at play here. But it's not just about the actions we take or don't take. Procrastination also has emotional signs. Anxiety about starting tasks is a big one. If you feel a sense of dread every time you think about beginning a project, that's a strong indicator that procrastination might be rooted in deeper emotional issues. There's also the fear of failure or perfectionism that can lead to inaction. You might delay starting something because you're worried it won't be good enough or because you want it to be perfect. This kind of thinking can be paralyzing and often result in doing nothing at all. And finally, there's the feeling of being overwhelmed. When you're unsure of your goals or don't have a clear plan, it's easy to get stuck in a cycle of procrastination. The task seems too big, too daunting, and you don't know where to start. So you don't. Now, recognizing these signs is the first step to addressing procrastination. Once you can identify them in your own behavior, you'll be better equipped to tackle them head on. Okay, now that we've covered the signs of procrastination, let's dig into the big question. Why do we procrastinate in the first place? You see, understanding its reasons can help us break the cycle and get things done. One of the major psychological reasons we procrastinate is fear of failure. When we're afraid that we won't meet expectations, whether they're our own or someone else's, it can paralyze us into inaction. The thought of failing or even just not doing something perfectly can be so overwhelming that we avoid the task altogether. This can be particularly strong when the stakes are high, making it feel safer to do nothing than risk falling short. And closely related to this is perfectionism. The desire to do things perfectly can lead us to delay starting a task. We tell ourselves, I'll start when I can do it just right. But that moment never seems to come. Take it from me. I know all too well about this. You see, perfectionism creates a mindset where nothing is ever good enough. So we end up putting off tasks indefinitely because we're waiting for the perfect conditions. Then there's a lack of motivation. Sometimes we just don't feel connected to the task or goal. If we don't see the value in what we're doing, or if it doesn't align with our interests or values, it's hard to muster the energy to get started. This lack of intrinsic motivation makes pushing things to the bottom of our list very easy. And procrastination is also influenced by cognitive and emotional factors. For example, low self-control plays a significant role. It's often difficult to resist short-term temptations like watching TV or browsing social media in favor of long-term gains like completing a work project or studying for that exam. You see, our brains are wired to seek immediate rewards, making it challenging to focus on tasks that don't offer instant gratification. And task aversion is another common factor. When we perceive a task as unpleasant or boring, we naturally want to avoid it. It's like when you know you need to clean the house, but the thought of doing it feels so tedious that you find yourself doing anything else. I mean, literally anything else to avoid it. I know. And finally, let's talk about the role of stress and anxiety. Stress can be a double-edged sword when it comes to procrastination. You see, on one hand, a little bit of stress can motivate us to get things done. But on the other hand, too much stress or anxiety can have the opposite effect. When we're overwhelmed, it's easy to fall into a cycle of avoidance and guilt. We put off tasks because they make us anxious, but the longer we delay, the more stressed we become. This creates a vicious cycle where procrastination only leads to more stress, which leads to more procrastination. The importance of understanding these reasons is crucial because it allows us to identify what's really holding us back. And once we know why we're procrastinating, we can develop strategies to overcome it and take control of our time. Procrastination can feel like an insurmountable hurdle, but with the right strategies, you can overcome it and achieve your goals. Now, these 5 strategies are backed by research, particularly from a study on psychological resilience and hardiness, which highlights the importance of building mental and emotional strength to combat procrastination. The first strategy is one of the most effective ways to beat procrastination, and that is to connect your tasks to your larger goals and values. When you understand how a specific task contributes to your long-term success, it becomes easier to find the motivation to get started. Ask yourself how completing a task aligns with your personal or professional aspirations. This connection can give you the drive needed to push through that initial resistance. Second, regaining a sense of control over your task is crucial. Break down your tasks into smaller, manageable steps to make them less overwhelming. Using time management techniques like the Pomodoro technique can help you focus on one small task at a time, building momentum and commitment as you go. By managing your tasks in bite-sized pieces, you'll feel more in control and less likely to procrastinate. Number 3, a key to overcoming procrastination is adopting a growth mindset. Shift your perspective to view challenges as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles. Embrace imperfection and understand that mistakes are part of the learning process. This mindset reduces the fear of failure that often leads to procrastination, allowing you to approach tasks with a more positive and resilient attitude. And number 4, don't underestimate the power of social support in overcoming procrastination. Leverage accountability partners or support groups to help you stay on track. Discussing your tasks with friends, family, or colleagues can provide new perspectives and encouragement, making it easier to take action. Knowing that others are rooting for you can be a powerful motivator. And finally, stress management is essential in combating procrastination. Incorporate activities like mindfulness, exercise, or deep breathing into your daily routine to reduce stress and clear your mind. Establishing a daily ritual that centers you can help you start tasks with a calm and focused mindset. By managing stress effectively, you create a mental environment conducive to productivity. Now, these strategies, rooted in the study of psychological resilience and hardiness, are designed to help you understand procrastination and provide you with practical tools to overcome it. By implementing these techniques, you can build the resilience needed to overcome procrastination and achieve your goals. Okay, let's quickly recap what we've covered in this video. We started by understanding what procrastination is and how it can be a warning sign of deeper issues. We then discussed the common signs of procrastination and explored why we procrastinate. And finally, we dove into 5 powerful strategies to beat it. These strategies: developing a sense of purpose, enhancing control and commitment, adopting a growth mindset, strengthening social support, and practicing stress management, are all backed by research to help you take procrastination head on. And I encourage you to try one or more of the strategies we discussed in the video. Everyone's journey to overcoming procrastination is unique. So find what works best for you. And I'd love to hear about your experiences, what's worked for you, your challenges, or any tips you'd like to share. So drop a comment below or reach out if you have any questions or need further advice. And remember, procrastination is a habit, and with the right techniques, you can break free and achieve your goals. It might not be easy at first, but with persistence and the strategies we've covered, you can transform how you approach your tasks and make procrastination a thing of the past. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.